Great, thank you. So, yep, thanks again everyone for attending. So what's next after, everything that we presented today? So for landmarks, we have the recognition challenge still ongoing. And as we said, there is still 1 month, one full month left. So now that, many of you know the winning solutions for retrieval and, there will be code available for that, we really encourage you to, leverage these learning lessons and potentially join the landmark recognition challenge. For products, as Shu mentioned, the next steps would be to collect the data set, as he mentioned, and planning to launch a product which we will challenge in 2021. For artworks, as Guangxin mentioned, they are working on finalizing the data set and hoping that we can collect a new test set, by physically going to the museum, once the pandemic situation allows, and launch a art recognition challenge, hopefully next year. Some acknowledgements for the workshop. So thank you so much to the challenge participants, especially to those who also participated in previous years. We saw some teams that participated in all editions of the challenges, and you can see how their performance evolved. Thank you to the presenters, all the winning teams who presented in the previous session. Thank you to our both invited speakers, Ping Luo and Diane Larliu. Thank you to the Kaggle team that provide a lot of help for setting up these both landmark retrieval and recognition challenges. I wanted to re-emphasize something that I mentioned in the introduction, is that in this workshop, we really welcome collaborations from academia or industry. So if you're a student or a researcher working in this topic and would like to get involved, or if you're interested in a related instance level recognition problem, or if you have any other ideas and feedback, please feel free to contact us at this email here, which will reach the organizers of the workshop. And I think this is my last slide, so just opening for Q&A, concluding some concluding thoughts and ideas. So some points that I put for discussion here. So the first one is going through ECCV these days and several papers. There seems to be, even in the discussion with some of the authors, there seems to be some kind of sub-communities that form kind of naturally in computer vision. They're working on instance level retrieval problems. And to some extent, our workshop and our new suite of data sets is an attempt to unify these work streams more and more. So for example, you will find many papers in vision conferences on deep metric learning, which are usually evaluated on data sets of vehicles, products, or clothes. There will be a different work stream on face or personal recognition, and they have their own data sets for that. And they often work a lot on metric learning as well. And then there's going to be a different work stream on landmark retrieval. And for data sets, there's a Google Landmarks data set, which we mentioned here. Oxford and Paris are very common data sets for that setting as well. So there's lots of commonalities between these three work streams. And we hope that, with this workshop and the new data sets, we can have these different domains to share more knowledge more actively. But, we also welcome ideas to unify this more. Some other topics that I put here for discussion: what would be other domains that we could explore beyond landmarks, products, and artwork. We are also welcome to have feedback now live or by reaching us via the email as well. And yep, open also to other ideas. So are there any other questions or comments or discussion?
I had a overall kind of question or comments to this. As you mentioned here, there are like multiple area which all belongs to instance level recognition. But for each of these subdomain, they generally have like several specific methods to deal with this specific question. For example, for face recognition, they doing like face alignment, something like that. And for person re-identification, they probably do like segmentation, something like that. I would like to see, is that like kind of like a common method that can be applied to all the sub area and get a pretty decent job?
Yeah, I mean, to illustrate more concretely what the kind of thing I'm thinking is that, for example, in our landmark recognition retrieval challenges, some of the most successful metrics that metric learning losses that people are using are, for example, even coming from the face recognition literature, like arc face and cos face. So yeah, I mean, some of these lessons are definitely like valuable across these different domains.
And probably we can
But
like
I agree with you.
And probably we can pull
that, there's some.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, yeah, I definitely agree that there are some, differences in potentially how you pre-process the data. For example, faces, you always require the face detector to be run for the person detector and things like that. While for the deep metric learning and landmark retrieval communities, it's more usually on the image level, the embedding that is learned. But once you get to that face or person box, there will be some techniques like arc face and cos face that can be directly translated to other domains as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, so what I'm thinking about is we may allow like different pre-processing method for different domain, but we can have kind of like constraint to like one unified training framework for all these different domain and have like a generic instance level challenge which can have like one unified algorithm to deal with multiple domain to see what's the performance. That would be something
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree. That would be a very interesting direction as well. Like having a generic challenge. I think in the object detection literature they have something that they call the decathlon challenge, which by which they mean some technique that can work in multiple domains for object detection. So you could have something like that for this workshop as well, potentially.